Great to have you all. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you joining in? I'm your Kishore, and I'm a business coach, and I welcome you in this month a very, very special Health Talks with Experts. Thank you so much for joining in and being the part of our health series, an initiative by Yukthanas since May 2020. So now we will be 7 years in May 2026. Great to have you all, and I am super excited to introduce our today's panelist. A Wonder Woman is, if I say it's less than anything, then I would say I have met her a long, long time back. Like I know her since quite a long time back, and it's been wonderful, witnessing her journey so far. And very recently we come across, and that's where we again reconnected. So I would like to invite a big round of applause, everyone, and please welcome here Payal, a good friend of mine and a fitness coach. She is an ex-banker turned fitness entrepreneur and the founder of Fitness Mania Studios since 2012. Over the past decade, she has helped 2,500 plus people through fitness, nutrition, and emotional wellness. She is a certified fitness coach and a nutritionist and has undertaken various fitness certification and challenges so she can give the best to her community. Her work has evolved from running an all women's fitness studio to building an online community where she now helps midlife women release stubborn midlife weight by focusing on nervous system balance, hormonal health, and sustainable lifestyle changes, not extreme diets or workout. Pyle has conducted corporate wellness programs, worked on emotional and physical well-being for young adults, and has been recognized as a Women Leadership Award winner 2022 and among India's top 100 super speakers. Through her programs and community, her mission is to help women feel safe in their bodies, regain their confidence, and live lighter, healthier lives. Her mission is to help women reconnect with their bodies, release emotional and physical weight, reclaim energy, confidence, and joy so they can inspire their families and future generation. So I welcome Payal here, and everyone please welcome message here, welcome Payal. Great to have you, and it was truly an honor to have you here, Payal. Thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedule. Truly grateful that, when I requested, you have been so generous to be the part of our Health Talks with Experts. Thank you so much for joining in. Gratitude, immense gratitude.
Thank you so much, Yukti, for this opportunity. Honestly, because it's really helping my mission. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you everyone who is putting up welcome on the chat. Being a Sunday and being like 4 p.m. Honestly, for all of you all to even show up, it shows that you're serious about your health and that you're committed towards working on your health. So which is why I'm really thankful to all of you all for coming in today. I'm going to go straight into understanding or maybe like asking this question, okay? How many of you get cravings? It could be in the morning, it could be in afternoon, evening, but how many of you get cravings? Please type yes in the chat box if you do. Okay, perfect. So as I understood from Yukti, today is like a mixed audience. I'm going to be like, covering everything to do with cravings, especially for, midlife people, because unfortunately, post, 35, 40, it's a very different ball game altogether. Right. So Yukti's already shared, what I do and, my background. So I'm not going to spend time on that now. I basically want to do maximum I can for the next, 45, 15 minutes and help you all understand. And then we can do a short Q&A if you have any queries. So I will be sharing my screen. Okay, so
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so okay, I'm just going to send a request to share the screen.
yeah.
And this is going to
You're
be
co-host
fun.
now. You can share.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. All right. So, how many of you feel that sometimes you are struggling with getting that willpower to manage your cravings? Please type yes in the chat box. How many of you feel that, and then not, this could not even be like, once in a while. It could also be every day. Like, if I look at myself as an example, I used to not get so many cravings, but in fact, for me, post 45, suddenly it was like I felt like eating something sweet, and I was like, what's happening? My kids would be like, "Ye kya ho raha hai? You're never into your sweets and stuff, and suddenly you want to have sweets." And that's when I'm like, okay, I need to figure this out. Right? So, okay, here, if you can see my screen, which you possibly can see the desktop. Give me a second. Let me go back to the screen. Okay, share. All right. Okay. Now, if you can see my screen, please give me a yes in the chat box. If you can see my
Yes, we can see
screen, all
Payal.
right. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Post 40, what changes? Okay, because something's changing for you, not even for like the willpower to work anymore, right? So so this is going to be a basic session, but I want you all to understand this. Please take a lot of notes. So yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I don't want any of you all to take screenshots. Okay, why? If you take screenshots, it's going to be on your folder. It will still be on your folder next year. It will still be the year after. But the thing is that if you're making notes, agar aap wo likhte ho, there is a brain and a body connection. Okay, there is a mind and a body connection. It will help you to remember. So don't depend too much on your, like your technology and stuff. Thora, like, focus on writing, reading, and all of that, because it will really help you. It's like exercise for the brain, right? And it's going to help you remember better. Screenshots is one modality, but writing your expression or what you're feeling comes on paper. Yeah. So let's go straight to it. How many of you get cravings? I already asked that, and we did have a fair number of people saying yes. Now let's look at this. अब ये डोनट दिख रहा है, राइट? किसको थोड़ा थोड़ा मुंह में पानी आ रहा है कि oh wow, this is a donut, and you just feel like eating something sweet right now? Please type yes in the chat box if that's you, right? If you get this something, okay, looking at donuts, wow. Let's look at another picture. Okay, so here's it, right? Let's look at this picture. How are you feeling looking at the French fries? I'm tempting you all with all the, food first, and I'll give you a very good theory as to why I'm doing this, yeah? Let's look at this. ये क्या है? Pani puri. How many of you love pani puri? Please type yes in the chat box. Right? Yeah, feeling to have. Perfect. Now here's the thing, okay? Let's look at one more picture. Gulab jamun. Now here's the thing, okay? And this is very important. And let me go back to what was written here. Cravings, they're not a discipline problem. It's a body plus hormone plus an emotional signal. अगर आपको cravings है, okay, so if you're getting cravings, it's basically your body is signaling you something. So yeah, when you're in your 20s and 30s, like, for me, like I used to focus on my clients and I'll tell them, hey guys, you need to manage and control your cravings. But post 35, 40, 45, it's a very different game. The more you control, and this is true, right? How many of you realize the more you control, the more it controls you? Please type yes in the chat box. If you realize that, the more you try to control your cravings, the more cravings are controlling you. And this is what I want you all to understand today, is what is the cravings about and why. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Pakodas and all, right? So that's it. That's cravings. Now you're going to understand that where is this coming from? Okay. We look at, yeah, हमारा pictures हटा दो, after 40, right? Why cravings increase after 40? Hormonal changes. So that's your first thing. Okay. Now here's what happens when hormones, right? They change in the body. Now I want you to remember one very important fact. In fact, ये आप लिख लो, write it down. Hormones are directly linked to your emotions. Okay, so maybe in your 20s and 30s, whatever you were doing was working for you, right? Maybe it was working perfectly, but why is it not working now? Because the hormonal level has changed. And if you do the same thing in your 20s and 30s, trust me, it may not work in your 40s. Now, why do I say this? Because I experienced it myself. As like a fitness trainer and like as a, like a nutritionist, a health coach, basically for me, it was very simple. Calorie deficit, workout, nutrition, discipline, sorted. I'm the kind of person who works out 365 days a year. द रेस्ट डे जो होता है उसमें मेरे वॉक्स बहुत लंबे लंबे होते हैं, लाइक 1-1.5 घंटे तक वॉक किया, फिर भी मेरा स्ट्रेचिंग ब्रेथ वर्क सब हो जाता है. ओके, अनलेस आई एम सिक आई डोंट स्किप. नाउ इमेजिन विथ दैट काइंड ऑफ डिसिप्लिन, post 45, all that's happening is I'm gaining weight. So then I thought, okay, you know what, मैं मेरा एक्सरसाइज और बढ़ाती हूँ. तो जो मैंने 20s और 30s में भी नहीं किया, and I used to do a fair bit in there, I started doing now post 45. I started lifting heavier, so I did more gymming. I did squash, swimming, basketball, running, yoga, golfing, dancing, you name it, I did it. Now, if I apply the theory of calorie deficit, which means, hey, my workout is great, I am on calorie deficit, I'm eating healthy, but I'm not stopping the weight gain. So every time I would look at the weighing scale, I said, यार ये फिर बढ़ गया, हो क्या रहा है, right? And हम लोग को जो सिखाया है, it's basically like, it's like this, right? This is how it is. This is how you do it. This is the scientific principle behind it. But even that wasn't working. How many of you are feeling some sort of helplessness when it comes to your weight and cravings? Please type yes in the chat box. Right? Okay. So here's the thing. This is how you can change this. By understanding what happens at this age. So once you're aware, you can change it. If you don't know what's happening and you'll still do the same thing that you were doing, it's not going to work, right? So the first change is, of course, there is a change in your insulin resistance in the body when hormones are not balanced. Okay? Which leads to more sugar cravings. I just told you all how my sugar cravings increased. So which leads to more sugar cravings, right? Now that is one aspect. Now we all know cortisol. What is cortisol? It's your stress hormone in the body. So when you look at stress eating, लोग बहुत stressed होते हैं. Like I had a client, okay, जब भी उसके पास meetings, इतने heavy set of meetings होते थे, right, with the higher management, boss and everything, वो हमेशा घर आके जो उसको दिखेगा she would eat, जो उसको दिखेगा. And at that point, you can't tell a person to eat healthy because a person is so stressed, person's going to eat anything. How many of you experience sometimes stress eating ki, इतना stress होता है कि आप लोग instead of managing the stress, you all turn to food as company, right? Type yes in the chat box if you've experienced that. Okay, so that's your cortisol. So cortisol increases, stress eating increases. Now, for women, estrogen decreases, so automatically the fat storage increases and mood swings come in, which is why you will see a lot of, women post 45 have a lot of, belly fat, fat around the hips. Why? Because simple, your body hormones has changed, right? Now, let's look at the second factor, okay? Energy drops. How many of you feel कि जो आपको energy आपके 20s 30s में थी, and see we're not looking at age factor, we're just looking at the energy, कि आपके 40s 50s 60s में अभी आपको थोड़ा dip लगता है, you feel it reduced. Type yes in the chat box if that's you, if you feel that there is a dip in your energy, right? And this is very common. Okay, now why is this common? I will explain you. See, poor sleep. One of the factors for energy dipping is poor sleep. Now, your sleep patterns could have changed. Maybe you need to sleep more. Maybe the quality of sleep is not that great. Okay. And sleep is also directly linked to what are you doing before sleeping, which means, are you watching a horror movie? Are you on screen time? Are you, what are you taking in? when you're sleeping, before you sleep. And that's the thing people don't realize. For example, अभी आपको access है social media का, right? And you all follow maybe n number of people, and sometimes you scroll on social media. Now that's the content that you are allowing yourself to consume, which means you may not have a filter कि मुझे क्या मेरे लिए क्या अच्छा है. Like I always tell my kids, I said, you guys want to follow people on social media, that's cool, okay? But whatever you're, just remember that whatever you're following, whoever you're following, that's what's going into your subconscious mind. So be very careful with who you pick even to follow, because that's what you're going to be taking in, right? That affects your sleep as well. Okay, I'll give you an example. I think it was like a few weeks ago. And so here's the thing, right? So my husband loves watching TV, and I'm not a TV fan at all. So I would just, I generally don't watch, I read books or something like that. But I wanted to sleep early, so I said, let me just come in the room. And there was some movie going on of some alien stuff. And literally, I think मैंने hardly 5 minutes देखा होगा, and I was like, okay, I won't be able to take it, and I'm just going to crash. But that did go in my subconscious mind. And I did get some weird dream about aliens. And we're looking at only 5 minutes. So imagine what you're doing in the entire day that can affect your sleep. If this was a bulb on, type BO in the chat box. That even something as simple as what are you scrolling on your phone can affect your sleep. Right? Perfect. Let's look at the second factor, nutritional deficiency. Yes, अगर आपका D3 कम है, B12 कम है, iron कम है, calcium compromised है, all of that is there. So there is a nutritional deficiency, and that's the reason why your energy can drop, right? Which is why I always tell all my clients that you need to do a health check once a year. It is mandatory, because you need to know what's going on in your body. Because once you know कि आपकी body में क्या हो रहा है, then only you can, make it better. Right? And for that, sometimes, yes, थोड़ा diet पे change करना पड़ता है, supplements लेने पड़ते हैं, just so you can manage your energy better. Right? And of course, sometimes because of gut issues. Sometimes sensitive gut हो जाता है, sometimes IBS है. So a lot of problems जो gut को related होता है, उसमें definitely energy effect होता है. Yeah. And lastly, and this is the most important one, whether it's family, whether it's your responsibilities increasing, or whether it's mental exhaustion, these directly affect your health, your cravings. And trust me, nothing you do in terms of, say, workouts or strict diets and all will help if all of this is not in place. How many of you type agree? So how many of you agree to this? Type agree in the chat box. Right? And keep it interactive. All of you all. We've got, like, say, excluding me and Yukti, we've got 14 people here. Keep typing in the chat box. It's an interactive session. How you do anything is how you do everything. So it's not like this is a movie going on and you're just sitting back and watching. No, I want you to be active on chat. Yeah? Okay. Here's the thing now. So your cravings are basically a signal that your body is asking for support. Okay, so for now we're not even going to focus on controlling the cravings, because हम लोग को understand करना है कि ये आ कहाँ से रहे हैं, right? And why is it that it's difficult for you to manage? Okay, here are the things. There are 3 types of cravings. Okay, first is your physical craving, second is your emotional cravings, and third is your hormonal cravings. Okay, now tell me something. How many of you, right? Say for example, you're sad or something didn't work right for you today. Ki, I mean, kuch bhi hua, for example, and upset ho. How many of you turn to food for comfort? Please type yes in the chat box. Right now, I want everyone, all 14 of you all, to type in the chat box that how many of you turn to food as comfort, right? Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you for your honesty, Babu. You're really active on chat, which is very good. It really shows that you want to really be accountable to your health at this point. So I'm really grateful to you for being very active on chat. Rest of y'all, okay, in the chat box. How many of you turn to food for comfort, right? Now, when we look at cravings, okay, see, we'll go straight to physical cravings so I can explain you all. Physical cravings जब भी हमको होते हैं, okay, now it could be a cause of physical craving would be कि एक तो skipping meals, so sometimes अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा gap रखते हो, see it's also the mindset, right? अगर आप IF कर रहे हो, and आपका mindset है नहीं मुझे इतना करना है, तो you may not get so much cravings because emotionally and mentally you're prepared, right? But otherwise, if you're doing something like skipping meals or you're not doing enough protein in your meals, if your sleep is poor, then that can cause a physical craving. ठीक है, ये एक एस्पेक्ट हुआ. दूसरा एस्पेक्ट फिजिकल क्रेविंग इज लाइक बेसिकली इफ यू सी समथिंग, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if you saw the pictures of pani puri and gulab jamun and french fries, right? Now trust me, when you see it, like at least 90% of the people would want to have it, if not today, tomorrow, day after, because it's already entered the subconscious mind. Yeah, I'll give you an example of a memory craving. So a memory craving is kind of like a mental craving, okay? So I was speaking to someone a few weeks ago and we were discussing. So this is my college friend and we were discussing, oh my God, do you remember the banana milkshakes from that place we used to have in college and stuff every alternate day? And we were like, yeah. And then the next day, and I forgot the conversation. That was like a passing statement. हाँ यार हम लोग banana milkshakes पीते थे college में. Passing statement. The next day, I made a banana milkshake, right? And a healthy one. So I put dates. It was like a banana smoothie, a very healthy option. And my daughter comes in and she's like, wow, you're making a banana smoothie. How come? I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like having it. And then I thought, okay, how did that feeling come in? I mean, मेरे को तो, like maybe 5-10 years हुए होंगे. I haven't had it. And then I realized the conversation that I had just the day before about uni, about this, and that's when I felt like having. So that was a mental craving, right? Because there was a connection to that. There was a mental trigger, not a craving, mental trigger to a craving. Yeah. Your physical craving can also be when you look at the food around you. So one is of course physical craving happens because of this, and दूसरा है कि अगर आप देखो तो जैसे मैंने आपको pictures दिखाए French fries के, donuts के, पानी पूरी के, and when you see maybe at home also stuff which is there, or if you go to a restaurant and you see stuff, then too you get a craving. So what I need you to understand is where is your craving coming from, right? If it's clear, please type clear in the chat box. Right? Even your vitamin mineral deficiencies can cause cravings. Yeah. Right. So if this is clear, type clear in the chat box. And how do you manage this? You nourish your body. What your body is asking for, you give that, because then the cravings are going to reduce. Right? When we look at emotional cravings, now see this I want you all to understand very well. Okay. Causes of emotional cravings. Let's look at this. Stress eating. Stress eating, binge eating, very common. Okay. What many people do, जब आपको stress होता है, when you experience stress, a lot of people, they hold it in. They don't even address the emotion. Why is there a stress? What's happening with that? No. They don't even, it's there. And because it's there, और वो stress को आपने manage नहीं किया है, release नहीं किया है, that's why you're getting your cravings. There's sadness. So again, we're looking at emotions, right? And believe it or not, so this is what I teach in my community. I teach them what emotion they're having and what food they want. That is also linked, right? So if you have an emotion of sadness, you want to go for sweet foods. That's how it's linked. So the question is not, यार मेरे को स्वीट्स निकाल देने चाहिए घर से या बंद करना चाहिए. The question is कि भाई आप इमोशंस कैसे मैनेज करोगे. Yeah, and the last one is loneliness. We're looking at emotions. So all of these emotions can cause cravings. Now, what could be your solution? Emotional awareness. So whenever you feel, ki, I want to eat this and it's not healthy for you, you need to understand which emotion is causing that, craving for you to eat. Okay, if this is clear, please type clear in the chat box. Okay, if this is clear, please type clear in the chat box. Because I really want you all to understand this. Emotional cravings, if you get correct, trust me, your half the battle is sorted. Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So,
Payal, may I have a question? Like,
sure.
that is very interesting to know that, that if a person is sad, they can have sweet cravings. So,
Hmm.
and so how it is, like if I feel craving for something, then
Yeah.
to identify the emotion, or for example, if a person is feeling lonely, then
Huh.
what kind of a craving? And I even don't understand that, like, or maybe not yet aware, and that's a very
Huh.
good space I would like to explore
Huh. Huh.
with respect to craving and emotions.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, like so it's what you said. Okay, so generally, when it's both ways. So generally, when you have a craving, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is because of a certain emotion when it comes to emotional cravings, which means there's an emotional trigger. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because there's an emotional trigger, you feel like eating that kind of food. So if your emotional trigger is stress, then your food pattern would to eat would be different. If it's sadness, it's different. If it's anger, it's different, like that.
Okay. So,
So
can
yeah.
it be decoded? Do you know that? Can you tell us, like, for example, anger or
Huh.
loneliness? What kind of a
Huh.
craving can happen?
Okay, so let me pull that out. Or if you want, so if you want, I can do this.
Uh-huh.
I can pull that out what I do, like you that's there in my community members ka wo. I'll pull that and I'll
Uh-huh.
send it to you. If you want, you can send it to them. You want to do that?
Okay.
Like, or you
Sure,
want me to
sure.
explain
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
As you say. It's a very
Uh,
simple table. वो उसमें पूरा
अच्छा.
लिखता है कि ये इमोशन है तो ये क्रेविंग आएगा
Uh-huh.
आपको. So then I teach the
Okay.
members how to manage all these emotions so that they don't
Uh-huh.
come to cravings only. वैसा.
Very interesting. Thank you so
Hmm.
much. I didn't know about this, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a
So
great learning for me too. Thank you.
perfect. Okay, welcome. Right. So that's your emotional cravings. Okay. Hormonal craving. This is the thing go. Okay, so I'm not saying it's going to be for 5 years, 10 years, but initially जब होता है, they need to be very mindful कि हम लोग को क्या करना चाहिए, right? So I will give you an example. Why does it say my internet is okay? I will give you an example. When I was going through hormonal imbalance, right? And I was doing everything that I was doing, which means I was working out more, eating more healthy food, but my weight was, forget about staying where it is, it was increasing. So, if I, as a fitness trainer and a coach, a nutritionist, was really finding it difficult to manage, okay, and after, of course, studying more and again, going through my mentors and everything, I understood one thing is that जब hormonal imbalance होता है, body is in fight or flight mode, means आप जितना और pressure डालोगे body here stress it is that your body is already going through a lot, then strength training or increasing weights and all of that is actually putting more pressure. It's increasing your cortisol level. Now cortisol बढ़ेगा ही, fat बढ़ेगा. Yeah. So it's you need to be very mindful. Like, see, for me as a person, for someone who's been hitting the gym since she was 16, okay, since I was 16 years old, I used to lift weights and everything. It's been, I think, about 9 months, 8, 9 months that I haven't hit the gym, which is a very big deal for a person like me. But does that mean I'm not strength training? I am, but I'm doing gentle strength training, which is supporting my hormones. Same thing for the guys, same thing from the girls, right? So when you look at hormonal cravings, understand that there are going to be insulin spikes. Cortisol is going to be up, and your cycle changes are going to take place. From now, what you eat, or the kind of emotions, the sleep, the stress, your lifestyle plays even more important role than in your 20s and 30s. How many of you agree? Type agree in the chat box, right? Come on. I'm not moving ahead until we don't get at least, three people, okay, three people at least who are writing the chat box, right? Agree, perfect. Okay. One more, let's go. One more person. I mean,
Now,
it's very,
everyone, get out of your beds. Come on, sofas.
guys, you better,
Enough. I have been watching you all keeping your videos off. अभी मैं एक एक को पकड़ पकड़ के नाम ले लेके वीडियो खुलवाने
video
वाली
khule.
हूँ. जल्दी से वीडियो ऑन करो, हो गया बहुत,
Awesome.
चलो.
Thank
All
you.
laziness is done.
Yeah, I know you've come for like a
चलो
health
फटाफट
lesson.
आओ स्क्रीन पे, जल्दी.
All right, so perfect. Thank you, Rajiv, Geetu, Babu, Sujata. Thank you. Right? That wasn't so bad,
राजीव
right?
जी,
Yes.
सुजाता, बाबू वीडियो ऑन रखो भाई प्लीज. हेमंत, प्रतिपाल, संजय जी, who else is there? Sammy, good. You have kept your video
Awesome.
on. Good, everyone. Go
Super.
ahead.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks. Okay, so yeah, and then honestly, I like think about this when you are, say, for example, not writing in the chat box, when you're not maybe keeping your video on. My mentor always says how you do anything is how you do everything. So this is how, if you're, say, showing up for a session, right? And I'm not there physically to see, right? But I'm there here. Then I want you to correlate what is it that in your life, you are repeating the same pattern. It could be you're not showing up 100% for yourself. It could be you're not showing up 100% maybe for your kids. It could be you're not, you're shirking away from maybe other, things in life. But correlate that, what is it where there's a similarity between this and how you show up in life. Very important. Yeah. Okay. So, solution, of course, balance hormones. Now, when we say balance hormones, right, I'm not talking about medication. I'm talking about small habit changes that you can make every single day so you can manage your hormones better. And literally, I'm telling you, like, for this, so basically, I had a client. She and uska story YouTube pe hai. Like, if you want, you can search for it on the YouTube pile Kanchandani pe. She had thyroid, hypothyroid, and when she came to me, her D3 was 4. Her D3 was 4. Of course, she wanted to lose weight. She was at some 68 kgs. She lost about 16 kgs with, like, of course, having hypothyroid, hormonal imbalance, low D3. I mean, everything. For her, even doing a 5-minute walk was a challenge. Even a 5-minute walk. And from there, to focus on her nutrition, to focus on health, to focus on emotions. Because generally, if you notice that age between 35, 40, when your kids are, say, either they're teenagers, preteens, crazy stuff happening, it is a lot for a mom to take, right? And she was mom of 2. She's a mom of 2, right? So had to really work not only on workouts and nutrition, but emotions and stress. Because there are times when you take in so much stress that you may not even realize it. And it's there. वो स्ट्रेस है लेकिन आपको रियलाइज नहीं होता है. And your stress affects your gut. How many of you, how many of you don't know this emotion, gut feeling hai, right? Because your emotions are directly linked to your gut. And that affects your weight, that affects your health, that affects your hormones. Yeah. So let's look at this. Okay, not all cravings need control. So this is one thing that I really specifically teach कि forget about कि cravings हम लोग को control करे, control करना है. Just give your body care and love. That's more than enough. The more you understand it, the more it feels supported. Okay, because trust me, when you gain fat, no, when you gain fat, you're increasing your weight, and I'm talking about when there's hormonal imbalance. ठीक है, अंडरस्टैंड कि बॉडी आपको प्रोटेक्ट कर रहा है, वो आपको प्रोटेक्ट कर रहा है नुकसान से, इसलिए वो फैट होल्ड कर रहा है. So that's the only reason why the body is going to really hold on to fat. It's called the protection mode. And how do you bring the body to safe mode? That is, you can use some of these techniques that I'm going to be teaching towards the end. So towards the almost when we're coming to the end, because first I'll teach you all of this, then I'll give you the solutions. Now, even if you follow 1 or 2 solutions out of this consistently, you will see a change. Yeah? All right. So, okay. Yes, gut, second brain. Not craving, but I want hormonal disturbance happens even with perfect. Yeah, okay, perfect. See, when you have a perfect lifestyle, like say, okay, but still hormonal happens, you need to understand that My lifestyle was very good. My nutrition was good. I don't have any stress. And my sleep was perfect. Everything was perfect. Yet it was body's biological way कि ठीक है, what, you're entering your late 40s and these are the hormone cycles that's happening in the body. I mean, and it happens in a very, I don't know how to say, like, like, जो चीज आपको कभी नहीं हुआ है वो भी हो सकता है. Like for me, suddenly I used to get these allergy reactions and stuff that would put me in hospital, and I was shocked. I said, yeah, I've never had to go to the hospital for anything except for delivering babies, but now I'm like, the hospital for this. And apparently, after I did an allergy test, I found out I'm allergic to haldi. I'm found allergic to pineapple, tomatoes, and I mean haldi is anti-inflammatory. Haldi से मेरा inflammation बढ़ रहा था, and that is something that I want to be like, like for a person who's, like you said, right, like a very good lifestyle and everything, how does suddenly this happens? Because what happens is, see, when your hormones go through changes, your immunity gets compromised. मतलब जो चीजें आपको पहले नहीं था, या कभी कभार आपको लगता है कि अरे ये कैसे हो गया, मीन्स मेरा सर्दी नहीं जा रहा है, या डिफरेंट डिफरेंट थिंग्स. It's because your hormone gets compromised. That is something we need to focus on, getting it back on track, right? And you'll get the solutions for this. Now, why willpower fails? Because willpower is temporary. आज है कल नहीं है, परसों है तर. So it's never like fully there. So I would rely on willpower. Like that is, the more deeper you have your purpose, yeah, the more better is your environment, the people you're surrounded with. The better it is that you stick to what you're doing, right? Cravings are biological. Willpower is temporary. So hormones, then become imbalanced. Stress is high. Sleep is poor, right? You cannot fight biology with willpower. And that's the true case, right? I mean, if suppose there were, there were no hormones, misbalance involved, okay, if I'm doing my workouts and if I'm doing strength training and all my workouts, and if I'm eating right, I'm sleeping on time, okay, I wake up early, good sleep, no stress, then all of this wouldn't have taken place. Yeah. So there's something more than that, and which is why, and I told, and this is temporary, कि ऐसे नहीं है कि ये permanent है कि ऐसे ही रहेगा, but you need to work with it. See, what's the thing is, to work with it, आपको effort डालना है, and you need to put in a fair bit of effort, right? I mean, I'm very particular, like when it comes to anyone, say for example, if it's in my community, every day they give me updates. And if they don't give me updates, I literally ask them, I said, I want your update now. What's happening? Because if you sometimes, if you have, सिर पे कोई खड़ा होएगा, like how we do to our kids, right? सिर पे थोड़ा खड़ा होके कराओ, then it really helps. So make sure your environment is really good, right? 4 pillars. Now, see, this is simple. I want you to understand this. Mind, body, hormones, gut. Okay? These are the 4 pillars of your focus that you need to do when your body is going through hormone changes. Mind is your stress and emotions both. Okay, so I'll give you simple examples. Okay, let me just put this up. Okay, I'll give you simple examples, right? Now, when we look at mind, I want to type in chat box, what is that one emotion that you feel that you're not able to manage? Put it in the chat box. जो आपको लगता है कि आपके जो emotions है जो आप नहीं manage कर पाते हो. Let me look at the chat box because this is important for me to understand. Okay. Okay. ठीक है. Frustration, anxious feelings. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. So when we look at managing emotions better, right? And we look at frustration, we look at anxiousness, understand anger. Okay, anger. Okay, a lot of people with anger, which is fine. right? So when you look at all these emotions, right, now imagine all of these emotions that you're feeling, and then you're not processing, means वो आ रहा है, आप उसको process नहीं कर रहे हो, आप directly वो emotion में घुस जाते हो, ठीक है? How many of you here realize that sometimes when you say something in anger, you really regret it? कि मैंने क्यों बोला? Type yes in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box if you feel that. कि why did I say in anger? Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Right? So here's the key. Now imagine if you're not able to process your emotions, okay? And if you're not processing the emotions, you're taking it within. And when you're taking it within, when your body is already going through a lot hormonally, imagine all these additional things, right? Additional pressure that you're putting on the body. How would your body cope? How would your body cope up with it? Right? So when we look at your pillar, when we understand mind, when we understand stress and emotions, emotional release is very, very important. भले आपने पहले नहीं किया है, आपने भले भूल जाओ पास्ट को, but अब can you do it? Now can you do it? Now tell me, for those who get these emotions of anger, frustration, how can you, what is something that you would love to do that will help you with it? Like, I'll give you my example. Earlier, so maybe like few years till before, if I would get upset about something, I would wear my running shoes and I would go down and I would run. So for me, running was a great way, because I'm a more of a physical workout person. Running was a great way for me to release. Okay. Now, when I get upset or angry, and if I'm like, okay, मेरे को ये emotion निकालना है, I focus on the breath work, basically, like 4-4-6, or box breathing. But I do a lot of breath work to release that. Basic क्या है कि वो emotion अंदर नहीं रहना चाहिए. Simple. सो टेल मी समथिंग व्हाट यू ऑल फील, कि जो आप कर सकते हो, जो आपको हेल्प करेगा आपका इमोशंस रिलीज करने में. टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स व्हाट यू ऑल फील.
Payal, you are talking to breathwork community only.
I know, that's what I'm purposely bringing in breath work, breath
We
work,
do it
physical
all the
activity.
time, in fact. Yeah.
Good. That's why I was like, that's why I'm connecting more to breath work, because you teach that, no?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
okay, perfect. It's not,
And
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
and yes, we just don't do the regular kind of breath work. The
Huh,
regular, yeah, there are the different
okay,
practices we focus on, and we
super.
do have emotional release, focusing on
Hmm.
emotional release practices also,
Okay,
beyond just box breathing or the kind of breathing
right,
that you have mentioned. Na? So
right,
there are more deeper breath work practices also we do.
okay,
Yeah.
super, super, ठीक है. Okay, so, right. Okay, let me go back to the chat. ठीक है.
Now chat is flowing, huh?
Very good, perfect. Okay, so it's not new, it's always there. Breath work, physical activity like running. Yes, that's exactly what I would do. Pranayama, perfect. Drinking water to calm, very good. Physical activity also helps in increasing stress, in releasing stress, anger, and anxiety. And I have one
Absolutely.
expression, yeah. Now tell me something. आप लोग को तो solutions है. So you have the solutions, right? Consistent. Because most of the time we know what we're supposed to do, but doing it becomes an issue. So type in the
Absolutely.
chat box how many of you are doing this consistently? That is important. So when we, yeah, so perfect. Very good. Oh, perfect, Sanjay. Very good. Awesome. Okay, Raja, Raji, very good. Archana, super. Sometimes me, okay, Babu, very good. Perfect. So that's the key. When you do this consistently, okay, come what may, it doesn't matter what your mood is like. There are times when when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, ah, यार छोड़ दो, आज skip करते हैं, साल में तो पूरा time जाती हूँ, workout होता ही है. And then I'm like, no, so for me, it's, you catch yourself that when is it that you feel your mood is taking over. Then you create your backup plan for that. Like for me, if my mood takes over, I'm a big fan of Bob Proctor. I listen to his podcast every day, The Paradigm Shift. मैं वो ना, बिफोर मेरा मन बोले बोले कि छोड़ पायल, लेट इट बी, वर्कआउट नहीं करते हैं आज, मैं वो ईयर प्लग्स डाल के उसका प्ले बटन दबा देती हूँ. जैसे ही प्ले बटन दबाती हूँ, हम लाइक चलो निकलो. यू हम लोग का मन है ना, कनिंग होता है. तो आपको अगर कुछ भी, वॉट एवर यू डू आउटसाइड योर comfort zone, right? Like today, I will tell you all, hey guys, you know what? From tomorrow, all of you all over here, you're going to do intermittent fasting for at least 16 hours. I tell you that, no, give your mind 5 seconds, it'll give you 10 different options why you shouldn't do it. अरे शादी है, अरे गेस्ट आ रहे हैं, अरे हम लोग को तो बाहर जाना है, अरे हम वीकेंड के लिए बाहर जाने वाले हैं, अरे इधर जाने का है, अरे नहीं हम लोग कभी करेंगे, अरे नहीं, like it'll give you always reason. That's when you catch your mind and you do exactly the opposite. Because your mind, your brain rather, okay, its job is to keep you safe. And it's going to keep you safe by keeping you in your comfort zone. The second you want to shift out of your comfort zone, it's going to try and pull you back. See, that is where the challenge is. How many of you agree? Type yes in the chat box. That is where the challenge is. Right? Super. Yeah. So you can, today Ekadari, nice. Okay, so you can shift your cravings. Okay, now when you say sweet cravings to healthy ones, yes, you can, because you can bake healthy, and if you feel like eating sweet, you can, but I still want you to manage the emotions. Because cravings, जो emotional triggers है, when you're only looking at emotions, that's going to be because of a trigger. So if you can manage that better, then it's a different feeling. So for example, if me and my daughter, okay, so we say, for example, we go out and we're like, and we both are tiramisu fans, we like tiramisu. So if we go out and we're like, oh, oh, this looks amazing. So I would eat it with her. So for us, it's a rule. हम लोग कोई भी डेजर्ट सिंगल में नहीं खाते हैं. Like, as in मैं पूरा वो पूरा नहीं. हम लोग का है कि अगर हम दो तो डेफिनेटली है, कोई और भी ज्वाइन कर ले तो चलेगा. अदरवाइज हम एक लेके उसका आधा करके, उसका आधा वो आधा में, मतलब एक एक चम्मच, दो दो चम्मच हो गया, फिर आधा कल के लिए रख के, फिर आधा वो आधा में, विच इज अगेन 1-2 spoons, right? So you can shift it, but the thing is that I want, because if you address the emotion, then your sweetness becomes out of, I feel like having it, which means that if I don't want to have it, I won't. I am in control and it's not controlling me. So that's the difference. That's the shift, right? Partner से प्यार
Mhm.
बढ़ता है. True. True that.
Wonderful.
So yeah, true. So when we look at the 4 pillars, when we look at the first one, right? Stress and emotions, I want you all to focus on emotional eating. And what I'll do is I'll send that to Yukti, जो क्लियरली बताता है, जो मैं मेरे कम्युनिटी में शेयर करती हूँ टेबल, कि ये आपका, जब भी आपको ये क्रेविंग होता है ना, आप ये इमोशन पे फोकस करो, फिर आप इमोशन को रिलीज करो, फिर आप वेट करो, राइट? एंड समटाइम्स क्रेविंग इज वेरी सुपरफिशियल, विच मीन्स कि ऑनेस्टली आपको क्रेविंग आएगा, आप 2 ग्लास पानी पियोगे, आपका क्रेविंग चले जाएगा. सो दैट्स वन ऑफ द ट्रिक्स दैट आई टीच ऑल माई मेंबर्स. आई एम लाइक, यू हैव अ क्रेविंग, so until they can manage the emotions and all of that, you have a craving, please have 2 glasses of water. 99% of the time it'll go away. Yeah. So that's your thing. So basically, stress eating, emotional eating, and calming your nervous system. And calming your nervous system, I'm sure you're doing it already here with Yukti. Once you do that, it'll help you in reducing your first set of cravings, right? Now, your second pillar is your nutrition and movement. Okay, your body. Okay. Now, when we look at nutrition or when we look at movement, sometimes, right,
Hello.
your body less is. Hello.
Yeah, Payal, we missed you a little. 5 seconds
Yep.
maybe.
Any question? I don't know,
No,
someone
no,
said
we missed your
something.
voice
हाँ,
5 second around.
okay, ठीक है. Okay, got it.
Now we can hear
हाँ,
you.
ठीक है, got it. So what? Okay, yeah, I know it says somehow internet unstable, which is weird, but yeah, दिखा रहा है. Okay, so basically, when we look at nutrition and movement, right, sometimes you focus on the basic, which means ki when you feel and you come to know when your body is going through hormonal changes, because you will feel cravings increase, you will feel energy dip, you will even feel inflammation go up, you may feel a lot of water retention. When you feel all that, right, then just go for basic movement, which is walking. Walking is the most underrated exercise, but trust me, it really, really helps. Okay, so doing simple things like walking, doing simple things like adding a little bit of protein in your meals, doing simple things like, not doing too much snacking in between. Because देखो, अगर आपका इंसुलिन, okay, रेजिस्टेंस पहले ही बढ़ रहा है एंड उसके ऊपर आप बीच बीच में खा रहे हो, इवन इफ इट्स फ्रूट्स एंड नट्स, जो पहले सपोज, ओके, fruits and nuts healthy before, you're eating it, right, I mean in between. Now try to keep longer, keep like a decent gap between your say lunch and dinner. Don't have, suppose I'll give you an example, don't have your, say your, even if it's healthy, okay, so say you're doing your kurmara, your fruits, your nuts, हर time चपर चपर नहीं करो, is what I'm saying. Why? Because अभी वो body को help नहीं हो रहा है, because you want to reduce your insulin resistance. And by snacking too much in between, that's not going to help, right? So that's one of the things that you need to focus on. Yeah? How many of you, how many of you love snacking in between? Please type yes in the chat box. And it takes principle. Yeah, Geetu, I'll share it with Yukti. I don't know how to pull it out of my PPT. That's the only thing. So I'm just going to figure that out and I'll do it, because I had to send it to my community also. So मैं वो कर दूंगी separately, right? So
No worries. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so basically, right, how many of you feel like, so here's the thing, okay? When you manage your nutrition, your movement, and when you reduce unnecessarily snacking, then your hormones that's a shift for your hormones working better, because your insulin resistance is being managed. सो जो डोंट बी अंडर द थिंग कि जो पहले करते थे हम लोग वो अभी भी चलेगा, नहीं, आई वांट यू टू फोकस ऑन कीपिंग अ गुड decent gap and eat only when hungry. Now I woke up in the morning, did all my full routine and everything, and I didn't feel hungry till maybe like about an hour before. It was about 3 p.m. I felt hungry, because from morning to till 3 p.m. I didn't feel hungry. So ऐसे नहीं है कि अरे ब्रेकफास्ट जिसने भी बनाया है, ब्रेकफास्ट खाना ही है, लंच खाना ही है, स्नैक्स खाना ही है, डिनर खाना ही है. भूख नहीं लग रही है तो प्लीज मत खाओ. सिंपल. ये बहुत सिंपल फंडा है. डोंट हैव इट फॉर द सेक ऑफ अभी ब्रेकफास्ट टाइम है. सो डोंट गो अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट. वो आई डोंट नो कौन से, आई डोंट नो किसने निकाला वो, दिस कॉन्सेप्ट, बट ऑनेस्टली आई फील दैट योर बॉडी विल टेल यू व्हेन you're hungry. So at 3 p.m. my body told me, hey, I'm hungry, and because I haven't eaten anything the entire day, I took a small amount of protein shake with a lot of fruits and stuff, and I'm done. Now if I feel hungry later, I may have something. If not, I'm not going to have anything. I mean, I don't suggest you all do that, but I'm just generally telling you, listen to your hunger. Yeah. Okay. So, right. So when we're looking at body, we look at balanced meals, no extreme dieting, and we focus on basic movement. Okay. Now, hormones. Same thing. Sleep better. How many of you don't sleep on time? Please type yes in the chat box. And by time, on time, I mean before 11 o'clock. See, हर एक का body cycle अलग है, so I'm not saying that, but I'm saying कि at least before 11 o'clock, when the body is supposed to get rest, because when you're sleeping and you're resting, your organs, your internal mechanism, your biological mechanism starts to flush out whatever that's needed to be flushed out. It's literally working to repair your body. Now, if you are not sleeping on time, you are stopping that process that the body is meant to do. Again, which to a certain extent, when you're really young, you may not think too much about it, but now you need to, right? So that's one of the things that you need to do. And yeah, so we're looking at cortisol, we're looking at stress, we're looking at sleep. These are related to your hormones directly. If this is clear, please type yes in the chat box. And your last, okay, let me put in this. In fact, this story is very interesting. Let me share my PPT. I think I just realized I'm not sharing it. Okay. Oops. Why does it go back to my desktop? Okay. Let me try again. Okay. Yeah. ठीक है. So we're looking at the four pillars, right? Now your last one, your gut, which is your digestion, bloating, bacteria. Now, type in the chat box how many of you have acidity, gas, bloating issues. Type yes in the chat box. If you do, if you do. If you don't, then it's very good, right? But if you do, then type yes in the chat box. And I'll tell you one thing. ये जो suppose, like, your acidity, okay, ठीक है, yes. Okay, so we have a yes. Now, your acidity, right? Of course, it could be because of the food. Sometimes some food may not suit certain people. So, for example, it could be chola, rajma, dals. बहुत सारे लोगों को वो suit नहीं करता. So that's a physical aspect. Some could be unprocessed emotions. And I'll give you an example how that affects the gut. So I'm basically raised in a nuclear family, and I'm from Dubai. I got married and I came to a big joint family, and I came here in Mumbai. So for me, because we had a nuclear family, there was no, you can do this, you can't do this, or this is how it is, and this is how it runs. Because my parents were like really like, jo life mein aaye karo jio, ek zindagi milti hai. And they were specifically more think that, for a girl, it's very important that she should be independent. So I was working before marriage, like, emotionally strong. So all of that. So when I came here, it was a very big joint family, and I was finding it a little tough to adjust, right? Because I need to ask, my in-laws everything, or this needs to be done a certain way, or girls don't do this and stuff like that. So having said that, I used to get a lot of stomach pain. Now for me, I thought, okay, maybe it's because मैं खाना नहीं यहाँ पे हजम हो रहा है या क्या, because इतने साल दुबई में रही, and then I came here, I thought maybe यार यहाँ का मेरे को सूट नहीं कर रहा है खाना. But the stomach pain wouldn't go, and I was fed up. I said, okay, you know what? Let me go to a gastro. And that time, ye hospital, the Wockhardt hospital, I went over there. I said, let me go to a good gastro and let me check what is it. So I sat with him and I told him I get stomach pain every day, and this is the thing and all of that. And he was a very sweet fellow. He spoke to me and he said, okay, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? So I thought, yaar, मेरे को ये medicine नहीं बता रही, saying, tell me a little about myself. I said, ठीक है. So I told him that it's been a couple of months. I've got married and, I've come here and everything. And he said, how's things at home and all of that? I said, I'm finding it a little, challenging to adjust, but ठीक है, चल रहा है. She's like, are you, discussing this to anyone? I said, no, I mean, I'm not going to tell my parents. I'm not going to tell my siblings. I obviously can't talk to my in-laws. I'm just, learning, like, so it was a, like an arranged marriage with long engagement. So I'm kind of just learning now to, like, speak up and open up and stuff, right? To my husband also. So he said, आपका कोई प्रॉब्लम पेट का नहीं है. आप ये थोड़ा जो इमोशंस है ना, वो आप उसको बेटर प्रोसेस करो, या आप ओपनली बात करो, या ऑल ऑफ दैट, तभी आपका पेट का दर्द चली जाएगा. I looked at him and I was shocked. I said, what the hell is he saying? He's saying मेरे पेट का दर्द चले जाएगा. I'm like, नहीं, आप मेडिसिन दो, मेरे को मेडिसिन चाहिए. And he was like, there's no medicine that I can give you that's going to get rid of a stomach pain. And trust me, when I walked out of there, no, and I closed the door of his office, and I'm like thinking, the hell is he talking about? You know? And now, like now, as in, couple of years before, when I started getting into deeper coaching and mindset and all, I understand, oh my God, he was so true. Right? So now do you realize how your gut is linked to your emotions? Right? And all the things that you go through in the gut is something that you're not processing emotionally. Okay. Of course, it could be because of the food as well. Okay. So there is, like, I had a client who, every time she would eat chola, usko bahut gas hota tha. Yes, by default, chola is gassy. But if your gut already is a little weak, it's going to affect you more. So first we focused on a gut, usko strong karke, like reset karke, and then we focused on the chola, like, how to soak it, You put in, garlic cloves, like at least few garlic cloves, one ACV spoon apple cider vinegar, and you soak it in a different way. Okay. Give it like a good 12 to 16 hour soak, and then you have it. And now she eats chola every alternate day with no issues. So that's what I said. वो physical है, emotion भी है. So these four things is something that you need to focus on for managing your cravings, your hormones, and your health better. Because when you fix the system, the cravings reduce naturally. It will reduce, trust me. Like, I mean, I've seen a big difference in my clients, I've seen a big difference in my community members. It does help. Okay. Now, the real shift is that we don't fix emotional eating by controlling food, we fix it by understanding the emotion behind it. Yeah. So, that is your real big shift. Okay, I'm going to go straight into solutions. So now I want you all to keep your paper and pen handy. Okay, because there is no slides for this. This is going to be me giving you points. I want you to write it, and I also want you to practice these. Okay, and these are very simple ones. There is no rocket science behind this. This is something that everyone can do. And अगर आपको चाहिए, you ask your family members also to join in. Your friends, family members, koi bhi hai, milke karo, it will really help. Okay. Your first craving reset tool is the pause rule. You can write it down. The pause rule. The pause rule is basically when you're going to eat, when you know कि भाई मेरे को ये खाने की दिल है, but it's not healthy, so you're getting a craving, or when you're going to eat normally when you put your food on your plate. I want you to pause at least for 5 minutes before you eat. हम क्या करते हैं, हमको क्रेविंग आता है, हम वही टाइम लेके खा देते हैं. But now I want you to practice the pause rule. Why? If you wait for 5 minutes, right? If you can't do 5 minutes to 3 minutes, if you wait for that much time, you will be able to understand where is this coming from, because आप pause करके अपने body को study कर रहे हो, अपने mind को study कर रहे हो. Just 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, 3 minutes, but I want you to definitely do this. That pause rule will help you to reset. So for example, अगर किसी को craving आ रहा है कोई चीज का खाने को, and अगर आप pause कर रहे हो, तो आप you're connecting back with your body. It's a reconnect with your emotion. And because you're reconnecting with the emotion, you first manage the emotion and then you start eating food. How many of you realize that this actually can be really powerful? Type P in the chat box. And when you, in fact, do this, right? Perfect. Thank you. And when you, in fact, do this, there's another to the next rule, okay? I mean, to the next tool. Perfect. Thank you so much. It comes to the next tool, which is ask yourself this question. Am I hungry or am I triggered? Okay. Am I hungry? So you can write this down. Am I hungry or am I triggered? Which means you're understanding why are you eating what you're eating. So that is your second, which is the check question, which means you're checking. Hey, am I hungry or am I eating out of a trigger factor? If I'm eating out of a trigger, then what is the trigger? See, ऐसे लगता है हम लोगों की, अरे यार ये तो बहुत ज्यादा झंझट लग रहा है ये सब करने को सिर्फ खाना खाने के लिए. How many of you are thinking that? Please type yes in the chat box. Because मेरे कम्युनिटी में तो लोगों ने बोला इतना सारा करना पड़ता है पायल ये सब करने के लिए. ऐसे देखो, पहले बार करोगे थोड़ा चैलेंजिंग है, दूसरी बार करोगे थोड़ा कम चैलेंजिंग है, तीसरी बार करोगे थोड़ा और कम है, चौथी बार करोगे हैबिट बन जाएगा. अभी उनको हैबिट है, उनको अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, क्योंकि लाइक एज इन दे नॉट ईटिंग जस्ट बिकॉज फॉर द सेक ऑफ ईटिंग, दे विल ऑलवेज चेक विद देमसेल्व्स. So idea is to get those new habits, right? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Right? Third is basically a body shift. Okay, now what is a body shift for a craving reset? If you have a craving reset, so the one of the things that I said, and I tell all my members to do, pani pi lo. If you have a craving, you shift something in the body that will help you manage the emotion subconsciously, but at the same time, आपका craving reset होएगा. So it could be simple thing like drinking water. It could be simple thing like, let me just go for a 5 minute walk before eating. It could be simple as breathing. Breathe, and you would reset your cravings at that point. Right? So that's your third thing. Basically, we're looking at reset tools for cravings, right? So your third is the body shift. Shift your body in a different perspective. So you don't, and that's something honestly that you can learn. Like for me, I learned that through like my daughter. And she'd be like, no. I said, you want to celebrate something? She's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to have. The more you're in tuned with your emotion, the better decisions you will make. अगर आप डिस्कनेक्टेड हो अपने माइंड और बॉडी से, तो ऑनेस्टली आपको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा अगर आप जंक फूड खाओ, अगर आप एक्सरसाइज नहीं करो, अगर आप लेट तक सो, अगर आप नेटफ्लिक्स लेट तक वॉच करो, अगर आप लाइक यू won't it won't make a difference to you because you're not connected with your body, your mind, your health. And as you grow older, the connection becomes very, very, very important. Even as simple thing as the way I'm speaking. I mean, earlier when I would speak like a bullet train. मतलब आधी चीजें समझ में आती थी लोगों को, आधी चीजें नहीं. And the way I've slowed down, and I had to practice. I had to practice slowing down. I had to practice eating slow. I had to practice speaking slow. I had to practice listening to slow music because I'm like the kind of person who listens to all that dhinchak kind of music, And then I realized, oh my God, that's also not helping me hormonally. वो भी कम करके अभी like relaxation music ज़्यादा सुनती हूँ so I can keep my nervous system calm. So that's the kind of shift you have to make. The question is, do you want to really, 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 really do that? Because for you or for me, first, of course, is for our health. But second is your family. They are watching you. Your kids are watching you. Your family is watching you. You can inspire your parents, your kids, your siblings. And why not? Because we're focusing on good health. Yeah. So the fourth point to craving reset is eating balanced foods. Tell me something, how many of you for breakfast have idli, poha, idli, sandwiches? Type yes in the chat box. अगर आप नाश्ते पे ये सब खाते हो. Anyone? Or give me some examples of what you'll have for breakfast. Chal, if you're not having these, give me some examples what you okay, yes, okay. So I want you to understand that, okay, parathas, chillas, yes, okay. Now, these are specifically carb-based breakfasts, right? It's got a lot of carbs in it. Also means that it's going to cause you insulin spikes. Okay, it's causing like basically glucose spikes in the body, which means you tend to feel hungry more faster, right? Okay, yeah, that's good. Papita, ashka juice, fruits, sprouts, very good, right? So if your body is already going through things hormonally, when you know the insulin resistance is also going up, you need to focus on a balanced meal. Which means, hey, अगर मेरे को आज पोहा खाने की दिल है, ठीक है, चलो मैंने पोहा बनाया, मैंने उसको थोड़ा घी में बनाया, मेरा गुड फैट आ गया, A2 घी या कोकोनट ऑयल, ठीक है, मेरा गुड फैट उसमें आ गया, ठीक है, मैंने वो पोहे में पोहा आधा किया, मैंने वेजिटेबल्स डबल किया. सो वेजिटेबल्स डबल करने से क्या होता है, वो इंसुलिन या ब्लड शुगर स्पाइक नहीं होएगा जल्दी. तो मैंने वेजिटेबल्स डबल किया, ठीक है. तो मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन आई टेल माय say members to show me or send me a picture of the breakfast that you're having, and I looked at the poha and I need to see less of poha, more of vegetables. मतलब मेरे को थोड़ा आंखों को स्ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा पोहा किधर है पिक्चर में ढूंढने को. That's how your poha should be. Okay. And then you top it up with one source of protein, which could be sprouts, which could be boiled mung, anything which is protein source, you top it up. That's exactly what I also taught my parents, when they were in their 60s and 70s. That, hey, you know what? Please. Like whenever I go to my mom's house, I'm like, and they're very like, so they grow their own organic vegetables. They're very healthy, super healthy. I said, I want all of this to change, like literally. Very important. Now you change, you're changing your future generations. And trust me, you are doing that. So when you're doing your carb base, you need to understand कि आपका meal में protein, fat और carbs सब होना चाहिए. और हर एक डिश पे वो अप्लाई करता है. सो फॉर मी एग्जाम्पल आई विल सी आई डोंट हैव रोटीज बिकॉज I honestly feel there's no nutrition and it's just a waste of calories and just pumping up the blood sugar levels. Gluten आजकल इतना mixing है कि unless आप खुद ही अच्छा seeds लेके आओ, खुद ही उसको पिसवा के आओ, then it's a different thing, but otherwise ready made तो भूल से भी नहीं लेना चाहिए. Even for my daughters, they don't have rotis, to be very honest. Yeah, there are times when they feel like eating theplas or parathas. Then I will just get them khapli atta ka, organic khapli atta ka, wo main manga ke piswa ke rakhti hu, and then I give them that. But otherwise I'm don't encourage rotis. I'm not telling you all not to, but I'm just giving you an example for myself, right? So focus on foods that are a full plate of all three of these. Yeah. How many of you going to make a conscious effort to do that from today itself? Type yes in the chat box. कि don't do a thing of भाजी रोटी भी हाँ रोटी खाया. सपोज आपका गुड फैट किधर आया, ऑर्गेनिक घी पे आया. A2 ऑर्गेनिक घी अगर आपने थोड़ा लगाया चपाती के ऊपर, या बाजरा जवर वट एवर यू गाइस आर यूजिंग, राइट. एंड उसके बाद हाँ सवाल, हाँ, सो रोटी इज ऑल्टरनेटिव. एंड उसके बाद बेसिकली आपने एक प्रोटीन सोर्स लिया, especially if you're a vegetarian, right? So of course non-vegetarians, you have a lot of options. Vegetarians go for tofu, good quality tofu, good A2 milk paneer if you want to do. Go for, you can go for your rajmas. That's got the highest protein in lentil legumes category. You can do broccoli, you can do spinach, you can do a lot of things, which has got a decent amount of protein. If nothing else, थोड़ा अपने तिल का पेस्ट भी रख दिया, वो भी थोड़ा डाल दिया, like mix करके वो भी चलेगा, right? Soya, like good quality. You could also do soya milk. So in between, I was doing soya milk. I was making it at home, and then I was using soya milk in my smoothies, right? So rotis, what's the alternative? Alternatives to wheat roti is, of course, your Rajgira, Bajri, Jawar, ragi. So those are your alternatives to roti. You could do sattu chillas, you could do, mung chillas. So sometimes if I feel like doing roti sabzi, instead of the roti, I will have it with the mung chilla. So mung chilla and some sabzi and thoda protein ka ye, right? You can do oats flour, very good. Eggs with single sliced bread with vegetable salad, that's also perfect. Sabzi curd, zero grain atta, already doing. Perfect. ठीक है. Super. Barley. Yes, you can. You can do milk, yeah, that you can replace, right? जो भी consciously आप खा रहे हो, focus on कि आपका उसमें से ना sugar जल्दी नहीं बढ़े. So for example, white breads are out, maida is out. Even honestly, breads also, to be very honest, मैं वो brown bread भी नहीं recommend करती हूँ because यहाँ पे it's just color. Unless आपको एक authentic मिलता है, like for example Mulund. So I know like one of my friends, she has a bakery and she does very authentic pizza bread bolo या bread bolo whole wheat, and she uses khapli atte ka also, she has ragi ka also, but she's told me what all she puts in it, so I know there is no mixing, there is no color, there is no maida, so I'm like ठीक है, वो कभी कभार चलता है. But otherwise, even breads, everything is like, there's nothing, there's no purity nahi hai aaj jaise hai, right? So that's one of the things why you should be focusing on eating very carefully, because वो ही आपके family members या आपके बच्चे देख रहे हैं and वो ही खाएंगे, right? Like for example, because I don't do, say for example, I don't do rotis and I do a lot of protein in my meals and fats in my meal. That's how my daughter is eating. So whenever she wants, if she wants to eat something, she tell me, okay, make it this or make it that, because she knows कि ठीक है, this is all loaded. So subconsciously जब आप सही खाते हो, subconsciously आपके बच्चे, आपकी फैमिली भी वो चेंज करके सही खाती है. Yeah, खपली आटा is good. Khapli is emmer wheat. Okay, so say emmer wheat So it's like, the stages when you look at it, right? It's emmer wheat, मैदा जितना आप उसको ज्यादा उसका husk निकालते हो. So emmer wheat थोड़ा या खपली थोड़ा reddish होता है. I use Two Brothers Organic Farms का वो wheat and then उसको मैं पिसवा के लेके आती हूँ. कभी अगर टाइम नहीं होता मैं डायरेक्टली उनका स्टोन ग्राउंड वाला एम व्हीट आटा भी लेती हूँ. एंड आई यूज देयर जवर आटा ऑल्सो. So I use their jawar atta also, organic jawar, but I use that for, yeah, I use that sometimes. So that is fruits is okay in eating sugar fruits जिसका glycemic index है. So every food has got a GI index. जिनका GI index low है, then it's okay to have, right? Because it won't really affect or it won't increase the sugar levels a lot. So that's one thing like you can focus on. It's not key. Okay, maybe fruits like, say, for example, when we look at chiku, they can be restricted. When we look at grapes, when we look at mangoes, restricted or in very limited quantities. So in a mango, if say a diabetic patient want to have, like वो जो one ऐसे आता है one fart जिसको बोलते हैं can, but yeah, otherwise it's okay. Papayas are really good for diabetics. Green apples are very good. Golden apples are very good. Pear is fine, so you can do a lot of that. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So the last one for craving reset tools is basically your sleep and your stress reset. आई थिंक लिटरली आई एम टेलिंग यू वी हम लोग के जो मिशंस एवरी वीक हम करते हैं उसमें मैंने एक मिशन जो स्ट्रेस रीसेट का था हम लोग ने एक वीक किया फिर उनको रिवीजन किया दूसरे वीक बिकॉज ये स्ट्रेस वाला जो है ना बिकॉज यू गाइज आर सीइंग राइट यू गाइज आर सीइंग हाउ मेनी यंगस्टर्स आर ड्रॉपिंग लाइक लिटरली डेड ऑफ हार्ट अटैक्स सो मेनी पहले जो हम लोग पहले सुनते थे अरे 60s 70s में हो रहा है अभी 20s and 30s में हो रहा है बिकॉज स्ट्रेस इतना हम लेते हैं ना जस्ट रिमेंबर वन थिंग whatever stress that you take in, if you don't find a way to remove it, it is going to convert into a disease. It could affect your heart, it could affect your kidneys, it could affect your lungs, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, your pancreas, everything. But it is going to affect. So, your job is to make sure you release your stress. Introduce whatever it takes. It could be as simple. In between, I was really enjoying dancing. So in between, if I would feel like, "Haan, theek hai, stress, you feel a little stress or something, just put on some music and dance." But do something that you genuinely like. Like some people, they like to play badminton. So when they get stressed, they play badminton. Some people like to dance. Some people like to run. Some people like to sing. Do whatever, do whatever. And it doesn't matter how silly it is. But do it so you can release your stress. Because when you do all this, right, when you do all this, your weight release happens because your hormones start to settle, your cortisol reduces, your insulin stabilizes, you sleep better. And because you sleep better, your energy returns. You have better digestion. You have a stable blood sugar. Why? Because you're doing all of this. So it's affecting your scientifically in the body. तो तभी जाके आपका energy भी अच्छा होता है. And obviously, once your energy is better, you're releasing weight, your confidence is also rebuilding. You stop fighting with your body, but you're supporting your body. So, trust me on this, you don't need more control, you need more understanding. And you need to understand what your body is trying to communicate to you. Yeah. So when you support your body, the body supports you back. So this is what it is. This is what it is. BRC says eat a lot before 12 noon. Fruits, you can, according to Ayurveda, before 4 p.m. Yeah. But that's only, see, even according to Ayurveda, that's fine. But also, if you look at it right, fruits is simple sugar. So when you're eating that, obviously, it is going to affect, right? So because it was the end of the day, it's not like you're going to do anything to process or burn that sugar. So you might as well eat it a little earlier in the day. So that's another reason why you can have it like before 4, 5. Yes, yes. That's perfect.
Thank you, Pal. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Wonderful,
Super.
amazing, wonderful session. Thank you so much, Ian. I learned a lot and I have made a lot of notes.
Awesome. Super. Nice.
So yeah, we are opening our Q&A section. If anyone has any question, please share that. But before we go ahead, I want to know one thing for sure. See, so you can always revise what you are learning here. Please go to this YouTube channel, Yoga with Yuktanas, and you all have this YouTube live going on. I request you all to please share with your family and friends and let people also get benefit. And you all can also go now and like, subscribe it if you have not yet. Plus, do share everyone what has been your biggest learning. See, Payal has come along with me, and we are here. हमारा भी Sunday है, हमारी भी families हैं, right? Yeah, we are taking our time so that we give you and not just knowledge, but you implement that knowledge. So, what has been your biggest learning, biggest takeaway that you are gonna implement for sure? Okay, I wanna open that and then only I will open the question Q&A session. If anyone has would like to share, please raise your hand. How has been your learning and experience from this session? We can have quick sharing also. Meanwhile, you all can also message here in chat box. Jaldi say, quick. Your time starts now, everyone. You can also message, type in your questions. Though I know that, okay. So eat when you feel hungry. Very good, Geetu. Very, very nice. So see, everyone, please make a note of it because, this is how we learn from each other. Eat when you feel hungry. In fact, I also found this very wonderful. Eat when you feel hungry. So and I will also share what I have learned. The first thing that has mostly impacted me is that your emotions and craving. Okay, that there is something like if this is your emotion, these are the kind of cravings you will be having. Like you have said, I remember, I think sadness. If you are sad, then you will have sweet cravings. Am I right? Do I
Yeah,
remember? Or
yeah,
I have to
yeah,
check
it's
my
correct.
notes? Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, it's
Okay.
correct. It's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, this has been my one of the biggest learning because honestly, I know for sure that if this is your emotion, what kind of a breathing you are having.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I know if this is the emotion, this is the breathing you are having pattern. And so it was a very bulb on for me that, that this is also related emotions. You can chart it down that this could be your issue with it. Yes, Gitu will share. Don't worry. Chill. Okay. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Relax. You will get it. Okay, now a few of the things that I have learned is, that even though we are doing everything right, doing the great workout, breathing, breathwork, meditation, and everything, but still it is very much possible because of the hormonal imbalance and okay, because this 40s and all, you are moving towards perimenopause and your estrogen levels are decreasing, and that can lead to, of course, fat storage, a lot of emotional things, mood swing. So here, what I have learned, the next thing is being more aware and conscious. Okay, whatever we are doing, what is happening to us? Are we truly, sleeping well? Yeah, yeah. So the source of changes, if I have to share, I feel is few things. Unconsciously, you may be thinking that, oh, I am doing everything right, including me. But if something is not if is out of a line or something is coming up, so it could be deep patterns of hormonal imbalances. We all also know that there are certain kind of emotional stress that we are carrying, and we are just the layer of it, right? We are just the layer of it, right? So these are the things and that I learned, and I also learned a lot of I liked the things that she has said, soaking, I think chana into some
Yeah, yeah,
vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I really like that. I never knew that. I never thought
yeah,
of it. I usually don't have any gut health issues, But I know some people, those who have in my family, so I can
Yeah.
certainly recommend that. So that was a very good thing. And I really liked your example of giving that how to prepare poha. Okay,
Hmm.
that level of consciousness, if you are having people, then that is really good. And truly appreciate your saying that you do whatever you wish to do to release your stress, dancing. You also have, even though I teach, that you must practice breathing, but yeah, what is your go-to thing? Okay, maybe just sitting idle or maybe just walking, whatever you feel like doing to get rid of your daily stress, please do that because yes, and sleep better. So
True.
we all know this when we breathe we get into the parasympathetic system, right? So ultimately, becoming more aware of our body, mind, breath, and uh, staying connected. This is what I would say. Truly, truly grateful. A very, very wonderful eye-opener session. I truly loved that, Payal, and the way you have explained. It was amazing. Let me just read out. I think few people have. Uh, messaging something. Okay. Willpower is important. Another one says that pause. Sujata says pause. Yeah, absolutely wonderful, Sujata. So I hope you are gonna apply, Sujata. Pause, drink water. Yeah, so the reset, you know, and everything that you have shared about reset, I would like to maybe give a quick recap to all the people. Everyone, give me the first thing. What was the first thing? First one was the craving reset rule. The first one was, let me see who is gonna be the fastest finger. Who's gonna be the fastest finger? Pause,
Yes.
absolutely. Pause for
Correct.
5 minutes, 2 minutes, three
Sanjay.
minute. Amazing. Amazing. What is the next one? Second, yeah. Am I triggered or I am hungry? Ask yourself. Wonderful. Right? And then shift your body. Either you drink water, walk, breathing, anything. Or maybe you can just tap. Yeah? Remember that?
Hmm.
सो आई थिंक अभी मैं किसी दिन मैं रात को अभी 10 बजे उठी हूँ जब कोई सेशन लेके आई वेंट इन टू द किचन एंड कढ़ाई में पनीर रखा हुआ था उस दिन पनीर बना होगा एंड आई वाज टेकिंग इट आउट एंड आई एक्चुअली feel like eating and then I started doing the tapping even though I feel like eating I still love and accept myself. That was very
That's
funny,
good.
but that really helped me, uh, to not to eat at 10 o'clock in the night. And
True.
I had huge, great laughing time also with that. So, yeah, shifting your body and then eating balanced food, wonderful. You have given some very, very wonderful tips and honor yourself. I so resonate with this, honor yourself
Yeah.
at the same time because your cravings are altogether very, very different from where they are coming from. So you are honoring yourself. We are, and so what she has shared in the very beginning that, what you're consuming impacts you. And that's the reason we have this,
Yeah.
ritual also, Payal, that before we sleep, we always practice we breathing, we clear our mind, and we do the gratitude also. But yeah, that's a very, very wonderful point that you have shared. So yeah, did I do something to release stress? Yeah, great. Walk, breathe. Yeah, we covered all the points, Payal. Is there anything missing?
No, done. Super.
Huh? Done? Okay.
Yeah.
Super. Thank you. Pass, fail?
Pass, pass.
Pass?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me, Payal? Pass?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you. Yeah. Your
Awesome.
food is your
So, how
medicine.
many of you would, I would say that I would like to learn more from you. Your food is your medicine. Yeah, absolutely.
Pass with this.
Pass with distinction. Thank you, Archana. Thank you so much. And I truly want that each one of you also, take it seriously and learn more for sure. I'm gonna learn from you, sure. So, yeah, Payal, how can we learn more from you? Are you offering any workshops, anything that I can join and learn more from you? And maybe some of the students would also love to
Yeah.
join you.
Hmm.
If you have anything, you can
Yeah.
share the link, and I would
Done,
certainly
done.
like to register for that also.
Yes. So basically, I have my webinar that's happening this Thursday. I can send you the link.
Okay.
You can put it in your group. So that's
Yeah.
like honestly, that's a
Sure.
so here what we covered is just one, like we covered cravings, but there it's a 90-minute webinar. We go into detail about the nervous system reset. That's one of the things that you need to kind of balance and reset, so you can start to kind of release
Mhm.
weight or reduce all the symptoms that's happening hormonally. So that's something that they're most welcome to join in. And of course, if they want to, they can
Mhm.
go ahead and be a part of the community. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Payal. Immense gratitude to you. And as a token of, immense gratitude, here is a certificate of appreciation I'll share with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for being the panelist on
Thank
today and sharing your valuable knowledge and wisdom and truly helping us to be more aware of one of the most important part of our life. How
you.
do we
Thank you
eat?
so much.
But are we eating right? Yeah, are we eating right? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Immense gratitude, Payal. And everyone, are you all ready for a quick breathing practice? Yeah. Let's do this. And yeah, 6 o'clock, I'm going live. It's a live class. Every Saturday, I go live by 6. So I would love to see you all by 6. You all can YouTube live. You all can see. And in fact, the topic is also close to this topic, like 35 plus, you're having hormonal swings. So how breathing can help you to improve your low energy, irritability, emotional ups and downs. So I'll have a deep class today on YouTube at 6 p.m. Do join that. But as of now, I want you to reset yourself, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Inhale fully. Take your both the hands up, everyone. Inhale and exhale. Ha. Breathe out ha sound. Inhale and exhale. Ha. Inhale and exhale. Ha. Sure, Payal. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Yes, Gitu, it is on YouTube Live. You can watch anytime. In fact, this session is also live on YouTube, so you can watch that also. You have to just go to Yoga with Yuktanas. Everyone take a deep breath in, and I want you all to just see how would you like to breathe now? What is your nervous system is telling? Whether you would like to breathe in through your nose, through your inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose, or you feel like nose inhale and mouth exhale, just be aware. I feel like breathing out through my mouth, only there, inhale nose and exhale. Nose inhale and mouth exhale. Nose inhale and mouth exhale. And now I would like to go back to my regular nose inhale, nose exhale, and just be present here. First, just watch. Where is your breath? And is your stomach or you're hunching, rounding your back, arching your back? Just be present. You can keep your right palm over your belly, another hand over your chest to be more aware of your breathing pattern. Try to keep your chest relaxed. And inhale, belly expand, exhale, belly goes in. Just practice it. Couple of breaths on your own. Keep your facial muscles relaxed, your jaw relaxed. Be fully present to your breath. Gradually become aware of the space you are in, the objects around you. Take a deep breath in and breathe out easily and exhale. Rub your palms, take it your eyes. You can gradually open your eyes with a gentle. Deep breath in and stretch your arm. As you breathe out, bring your palms to the heart center, shoulders roll back, and just say, I'm grateful to my breath. I'm grateful to my healthy body, mind, and soul. I'm grateful to this whole universe. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Breathe well, and phenomenal. Thank you so much. Stay blessed, everyone.